Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today I am going to be filming my June TBR. So I'm excited. I do have a stack of books next to me that I would like to get to. I think June is I'm gonna try and make it a little bit more of a chilled month. I had some ideas in my mind that I wanted to do of dedicated reading vlogs, but I don't think I'm going to do that in June. I think what I'm actually going to do is try and do some reading challenges rather than dedicated reading vlogs. So the theme will be the challenge as opposed to the theme being what kind of books I'm reading. I think that I just need to kind of mix my reading up a little bit. So not only that, but I'm going away at the end of June. And then a week later after I get back, I'm going away again for a weekend. So I really need to, be on it with my filming and editing. And I just think I want to take a little bit of a chill with my reading. I've been like balls to the wall for the last 2 months, especially with 30 books in 30 days in April, and then May appears to be going in the same direction. I have been reading a lot of manga, but I seem to have been just keeping up the pace that I had in April, which is complete insanity, and I cannot continue to do that. I will hit burnout and it will be very, very bad. So I am aiming to take things a little bit slower, I think. I do have books planned for Egypt, so if I don't manage to get them on the TBR specifically, I'll tell you about them after. I do have a Patreon buddy read. I also have a book club read for a new book club that I have set up on Storygraph. Now, I will be very honest with this and tell you that I have no clue what I'm doing on Storygraph. Not a Scooby-Doo. So we're just learning as we go. It's a little bit fun and I'm excited about it. So I will mention that as well. But yeah, I do have quite the mix here that I'm excited about. So without further ado, let's start off with my Patreon pot, shall we? My top 2 tiers, drivers and team principals, get to put a book in here, and I pick one out at the beginning of the month and try and read it in that month. I'm currently only behind on one, which was January's book. So let's see what's in here. I have recently topped this up and I can't remember what's in here now, so yay for that. Not that I could ever remember what was in here. Let's have a look. See, I think that's upside down. What is that? Does that say Scarred by Emily McIntyre from Claire? That's so funny. I have just put that in my unhaul pile. Maybe I take that out. Oh, but I was going to unhaul the whole series. Okay, let's do that. I will take it back off the unhaul pile. Do I do that or do I pull another and see what it is and then make a decision? No, you know what? I've committed to the bit. I've unhauled it. It's in my unhaul pile and it's going. Sorry, Claire. Let's pull another one, shall we? Sorry, Claire. That's clearly been in there a little while, I think. I have literally just this week decided to unhaul those though, so, my apologies. Okay, let's try again, shall we? What is that? This Delicious Death from Tracy. The fuck is that? Do I have that? Wait, I do have that. I've just remembered what that is. I do have that. It's just come back to me. Okay, so we've got This Delicious Death by Kayla Cottingham, which is a horror. It's a summer horror book, which is perfect for the summer, actually. I think I'm in the mood for like horrors and thrillers. I'm super in the mood for that. So don't be surprised if you see me putting quite a few of those on this TBR. This summer is going to get gory. 2 years ago, a small percentage of the population underwent a transformation known as the hollowing. Those affected were only able to survive by consuming human flesh. The people who went without quickly became feral, turning on their friends and family. Luckily, scientists were able to create a synthetic version of human meat that would satisfy their hunger. As a result, humanity slowly began to return to normal. Cut to Zoe, Celeste, Valeria and Jasmine, 4 hollow girls living in Southern California. As a last hurrah before graduation, they attend a music festival in the heart of the desert. They have a cooler filled with seltzer, vodka, and sinflesh and are ready to party. But on the first night of the festival, Val goes feral and ends up killing and eating a boy in one of the bands. As other festival guests start disappearing around them, the girls soon discover someone is targeting people like them. If they can't figure out how to stop it, and soon no one at the festival is getting out alive. I do have my Dearest Darkest on my TBR as well, which I've had for a really long time now and should have gotten to by now. But I also got this one. I wanted like a zombie horror. I needed one for one of the prompts for horror bingo. So I'm glad that Zoe... that's because I've just read Zoe in here and I was just talking about Zoe with the unhaul. That's thank you to Tracy for putting this on my TBR. I truly appreciate you. A book that is actually on my TBR as well, which is a win, because I know there's quite a few in there that aren't on my TBR. So yeah, thank you Tracy for that one. Truly appreciate it. I completely blanked for a second and wondered what the hell this delicious death was. But yeah, thank you to Tracy for that. My apologies, Claire, for Scarred. I think you still have quite a few books in there though, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, I have just recently whacked those in my unhaul pile, so they'll be in my ins and outs for May. Okay, so we are going to do, we'll aim for 5, we may do 6, we'll see. So let's pull these out, shall we? Interested to see what's going to come out of here. I'm also not doing an episode of Keep It or Eat It in the month of June either. I'm like truly not doing a themed vlog. I will be doing like reading challenges potentially. So I'm not doing an episode of Keep It or Eat It. I'm feeling the burnout with it, but I do know that there's like Fairy Loot or Illumicrate in here. So I have pulled like, if I do pull Fairy Loot, I've got a book on my mind that I want to read that has recently come in. I just hope I don't pull Illumicrate because I'm not interested in any of those books. So we'll see. Watch me have manifested that now. Okay, what have we got? Kindle Unlimited. Nice. That works in well. Now, this does say Kindle Unlimited, but it doesn't say that it needs to be a Kindle Unlimited book that I don't own. So I could pick a Kindle Unlimited book that I do own physically. And I'm going to do that. So my book club read is a Kindle Limited book, and I do physically own it. Don't come for me. But I also have another book here that is a Kindle Limited book that I do physically own. I'm just trying to figure out which one of these I could potentially get on another prompt, maybe. I could get both of them on another prompt, to be fair. You know what? Let's be clever about this and put the book club read on. So, the Silly Goose Book Club, which I was just talking to you about, which is the book club that I've set up over on Storygraph. The book that we're picking to read for like the back end of May and beginning of June is Diabound by Sable Sorensen, which I now think could be quite difficult for people to do because it's now been picked up by a publisher. So if you didn't already have it downloaded, or a physical copy, if you didn't already have it downloaded, I don't know if Kindle Unlimited will stay open. It might do actually, because on occasion it does do that. So it might still be available on Kindle Unlimited, I don't know. But this is the book that we're supposed to be reading. And I saw Laura and Emmy reading this one and shouting about it from the rooftops, so I was desperate to read it, which is why I've ended up with a physical copy of it. Lo and behold, it's been picked up by a publisher since. So this one says, only the worthy survive. She'll risk everything to be one of them. When Merrin Cooper's sister is kidnapped by the enemy, Merrin enlists in the army, desperate to get across the border to save Sailor from their immortal foes. But she doesn't realise there are bonding trials this year, meaning all soldiers are forced to risk their lives to connect with a direwolf, and Merrin is thrown into the deadly competition. Now she'll need to survive the next 4 months of training as at the castle if she wants a chance of finding Sailor, but Merrin is bound to a feral direwolf who refuses to communicate. The other trainees would love to spill her common blood, and her gorgeous instructor, Stark Therian, is as malicious as the wolves himself. Everyone is out to get her, everyone but the dangerously handsome Crown Prince, Killian Valtyr. But if she loses her heart to him, she may also lose her life, and the castle is hiding a dark secret. I don't know if this is like a why choose or a love square. We have Merrin, we have the direwolf that doesn't speak to her, we've got the trainer Stark, and we have the prince, Killian. So there are 3 love interests, potentially. I don't know if this is a love square or a wide choose, I'm not sure, but I'm intrigued nonetheless. It sounds fantastic and I've heard great things. This is not small, which is why I've picked a book that I also physically own as well as a Kindle Unlimited book, because as much as I want to make my way through my Kindle Unlimited reads, this is definitely one of them on there. So I will be putting that on here for my Kindle Unlimited book. Don't come for me. I don't care if it doesn't count. It's my game, okay? My game, my rules. It's called the Silly Goose Book Club because I don't really know what I'm doing and it's not that serious. So it's just for a little bit of fun. We'll see how it goes. I don't even know what I'm doing. So let's go for book number 2, shall we? Okay. What is this? A debut novel. Ooh, okay. Okay, right. I do have a couple on here that could be debuts. Let me check. Okay, I do have 2 options for these and I do want to read both of them. So I think I will go for this one because there are some other prompts that could pull the other one. So The Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashem. It says on the front, a remarkable razor-sharp debut from Chelsea Abdullah. I do have a book from that author as well. We'll have you turning pages in a frenzy from Shelley Parker-Chan. This one is Egyptian-inspired mythology, and obviously I'm going to Egypt at the end of the month. So this is one of the books that I'm taking with me to Egypt. An unmissable tale of shattered kingdoms, forbidden magic, and cunning royals unfolds in this Egyptian-inspired epic fantasy debut. I've heard great things. I'm just really hoping that I get on with this because I'm not reading a great deal of epic fantasy at the moment because I struggle with it. 10 years ago, the kingdom of Jasad burned. Its magic was outlawed, its royal family murdered. At least that's what Sylvia wants people to believe. The heir of Jasad escaped the massacre and she intended to stay hidden, especially from the armies of Nizal, which continue to hunt her people. But a moment of anger changes everything. When Arin, the Nizal heir, tracks a group of Jasadi rebels to her village, Sylvia accidentally reveals her magic and captures his attention. Now Sylvia is forced to make a deal with her greatest enemy, help him hunt the rebels in exchange for her life. A deadly game begins. Sylvia can't let Arin discover her identity, even as hatred shifts into something more between the heirs. As the tides change around her, Sylvia will have to choose between the life she wants and the one she has abandoned. The scorched kingdom is rising and needs a queen. Why is this the first time I'm reading that synopsis? That sounds fantastic. Why is it taking me so long to get to this? I've heard incredible things. I just didn't think it was going to be for me, and I'm not sure why. That was really dumb of me. I think that I'm really going to enjoy this. Outstanding. That's genuinely the first time I've read that synopsis. And the new one comes out very soon as well, the next one in the series. So that was a great shout. Thank you to the Jar for picking that prompt for me. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Book number 2 from the Jar. Okay, book number 3 from the Jar. I'm going to put a caveat in here. If I pull something out like Illumicrate or Owlcrate Jr., I've got a Feraloop book I want to read, but I don't want to read either of those other subscription boxes. So if I pull one of those out, I'm vetoing it, okay? It's my game, my rules. So what is this? A random number generator. Jesus wept. What is the best way of me doing this? Do I do it with the books I've got here? Do I do it with Goodreads? What do I do with this? Okay, I've decided what I'm going to do. Because I'm in the mood for thrillers and horrors, I have counted, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but this shelf here, 1, 2, 3, and then the shelf below 4, which you can't see. I've counted all of the books on there. I have 95 unread, so I've only counted the unread ones. And I'm going to pick one of those instead. So let's just use the Google one. 1 to 95. And then I'm just going to generate a few random, let me make sure that you can see that. Generate a few random ones just to shake it up a little bit. Okay, so let's generate one. Number 33. Okay, let me count. 32, 33. Ugh, I don't want to read this. Why is it on my shelf? Okay. I don't know why I have this on my shelf. Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth. I don't think I'm gonna necessarily like this one, but let's do it. She's dead in the basement and refusing to leave. Abby's mother-in-law is worse than most. She's hypocritical, thinks her son can do no wrong and her daughter-in-law can do no right. Oh, she's also the undead, back from the afterlife and out to destroy everything Abby holds most dear. When Ralph and Abby Lamb move in with Ralph's mother, Laura, Abby hopes it's just what she and her mother-in-law need to finally connect. After a traumatic childhood, Abby is desperate for a mother figure, especially now that she and Ralph are trying to become parents themselves. Abby just has so much love to give to Ralph, to Laura, and to Mrs. Bondi, her favourite resident, a long-term care home where she works, but Laura isn't interested in bonding with her daughter-in-law. She's venomous and cruel, especially to Abby, and life with her is hellish. Even after Laura suddenly takes her own life, she still won't leave the couple alone. Her ghost begins to haunt Abby and Ralph, but in very different ways. Ralph is plunged into depression, and Abby is terrorised by a force intent on destroying everything she loves. To make matters worse, Mrs. Bondi's daughter is threatening to move her from the care home, leaving Abby totally alone. With everything on the line, Abby comes up with a chilling plan that will allow her to keep Mrs. Bondi, rescue Ralph from his tortured mind, and break Laura's hold on the family for good. All it requires is a little ingenuity, a lot of determination, and a unique recipe for chicken a la king. What? In the wild and brilliant and ghoulish spirit of Rachel Yonder's Night Bitch or Showtime's Yellow Jackets, this is a novel of terror and tenderness of someone holding together a marriage as her husband falls apart, all while wondering why it always seemed to be a woman's responsibility to secure a relationship at all costs. Okay, I don't know what I thought this was, but that sounds actually kind of interesting. This is why it ends up staying on my TBR for so long, because I don't read the fucking synopsis. Okay, interesting. Wasn't expecting that to go on my TBR today, but fair enough. Okay, book number 4. What have we got? What do we got? What do we got? That says Loom Crate, doesn't it? Well, Veto. Veto. Non-fiction, that works. I need one of those anyway. The one that I had out for this month, I've just seen an interview this morning with Callum Nicholas, and it was fascinating. And I was like, you know what? That's the book I want to read for June. So I'm reading Life in the Pit Lane by Callum Nicholas, which is a non-fiction about his life in the pit lane. He used to work for Red Bull Racing. He has now retired from being a mechanic, but he is still working within F1. And he's been doing a lot of podcasts and interviews recently. So he's been like one of the most famous mechanics going. I don't understand why or how, but it's going to be interesting, I think, to read about his life. Even though I'm not a Red Bull Racing fan, I am in fact a Lewis Hamilton fan, wherever he is racing for. So last season I was a Mercedes fan. This season, reluctantly, I'm a Ferrari fan. I don't look good in red, okay? And I am also a McLaren fan, Lando Norris specifically, but a McLaren fan. Callum has seen it all from his unique vantage point next to the fast lane. In Life in the Pit Lane, he takes us on a breathtaking journey from his apprenticeship at humble North London garage to a career at the very pinnacle of motorsport. With its authentic insights from the thick of the action and rare spotlight on diversity and inclusion of the sport, this inspiring memoir opens up the world of Formula One like never before. Packed with all the high-octane tales and behind-the-scenes details fans haven't heard before, Life in the Pit Lane will reveal the good and the bad from a career as part of the world's most extreme circus. From the opportunity to travel the world, build the fastest race cars on the planet, and revel in the highs of being a championship-winning, record-breaking team, to the challenges of working under immense pressure and the frustrations that come when a race weekend doesn't go your way. Life in the Pit Lane brings a brand new perspective to Formula One as Callum reflects on his journey so far, how the sport has changed for those working in it, the realities of career on the road, and the future he hopes lies ahead. I'm so interested in this because it is from the perspective of a team that I do not support, but not only that, I very much so dislike for reasons. I do not like Christian Horner, who runs the team, I think it will be so interesting to get his perspective on this. I think it will be a really fascinating read. So I'm very excited to read this one, and I think it's going to be super intriguing. Also, do not come for me in the comments if you are a Red Bull Racing fan or you like Christian Horner. I have my reasons, okay? I just don't particularly like him as a person. So yeah, very interested in this one. Do like Callum as a person, I will say. He is a very interesting person, so I'm intrigued to read his book for sure. Okay, book 5. I don't think this will be the last one. I'm having fun, okay? This TBR is coming out great. I still have quite a few books next to me. I need to get on it. So let's have a look, see what we have next. What is this? Treat yourself. God damn. I didn't need that today. Oh no, actually, you know what? We can actually take this off because I did just purchase. I really do not need to treat myself anymore. I did just purchase volumes 13 through till 17 of Blood on the Tracks. So we will take this off. I have already treated myself. Do not encourage me to do that anymore. Let's do another one. I will probably end up trying to read those as well in the month of June, because right now I am very much so addicted to that series and I want to finish it off. So I wanted to purchase the rest of them so that I could do that. A seasonal read. All right, so in June we are going into summer. So it's the back end of spring and we're going into summer. A seasonal read. Okay. Maybe something with the word summer in the title, or just something that's giving summer vibes. Right, I think I'm actually going to go for a book that I've already got on my that I wanted to put on my TBR, and it's the other book that I do want to read when I go to Egypt. And I'm going to put on Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Now, don't ask me why, but this just gives me summer. Like, I wouldn't want to pick this up in winter or autumn. Do you get what I mean? It's giving summer. Also set in Egypt, the Nile, you know, hence, can you see the theme going on here? Anyway, a cruise down the Nile on a river steamer sounds like the perfect way to get away from it all. But the tranquil, warm darkness of the Egyptian evening can change fast, when the air is thick with hot passions and cold malice. Temperatures rise when the first passenger is shot, and Hercule Poirot must abandon the mysteries of ancient Egypt and focus on altogether deadlier matters. I have previously enjoyed Agatha Christie's books. I have read A Murder on the Orient Express, which was fantastic. That is a book I would pick in winter, or maybe even autumn, but probably winter. So just checking that this doesn't say, you know, March, something. It doesn't. What else have I read that this is going to take forever to go through? I think I've read the ABC Murders as well. I've got The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, and I've also got, and then there was one, and then there was none, whatever that one's called. I've got that one as well. I have read a handful, but not many. But I've had this one for a little while now, and it makes sense to read it in Egypt. So I'm going to put this one on. This also does count towards my classic read for the month as well, which is very exciting. So doubling up on that with a seasonal read. I don't know. It's just giving summer. Anyone else think that? It's set in Egypt, you know. I could have picked a book with the word summer in the title, or, you know, that really was giving summer vibes. But I'm just gonna pick that. Let's do it. Sod it. Okay, let's do one more, just cause. Whatever this is. Oh, Horror Bingo TBR. I've already got one of those on, but that's fascinating. What have we got left on that? Because I don't have too many left. Alright, I've got The End Times Are Near, which I've got Bird Box by Josh Malerman down for. But I'm thinking of saving that for Summerween. I have Blood on the Cover, and I do have a book down for that, but I could pick something else. I have Title Has a Spooky Word, which I have something down for. Dead Man Walking, which I'm picking This Delicious Death for by Kayla Cottingham. Genre Bending, I have Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes, which I'm excited to read. And then Satanic Panic, which I have Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia for. I don't want to read that at the moment. should we do title has a spooky word and I can pick a book that's here actually and make that work? I'm going to go for deadline. Dead is the spooky word, by Steph McGovern. They have Your Child, You're Live on Air. I have a arc of this, doesn't come out till the 3rd of July, and I'm very excited about it. So the synopsis on the back says, going live in 10, 9, 8. Today is a huge day for TV reporter Rose's career. A live interview with one of the most powerful men in the country on one of the nation's biggest TV shows. 7, 6, 5. But when she hears an unfamiliar voice in her ear, she knows something is very wrong. 4, 3, 2. Her earpiece has been hacked. She's live on air in the middle of an interview. They tell her they have kidnapped her family. 1. And in order to protect them, Rose must do exactly what the hijackers say. They are now in control. It sounds so good. I'm very excited about reading this one. It sounds really interesting. I actually think that this will be... I'm really hoping that they do an incredible audiobook for this one, because I think it could be really, really well done and well produced if they were to do like a full cast, because it looks like we're following a few different characters. Jonesy, Arabella, Rose, Zoya. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of characters in this. So if they did like a full cast audio and then had some of the sound effects in there, I think it could be really well done. But I do want to try and read this before it comes out. So the 3rd of July this does come out, so it feels like a good time to be picking this up in June, and I can whack it on for horror bingo as well, which is great news. I did have The Haunting by Natasha Preston pegged for that one, but I want to read this instead. So and I think dead is a spooky word, so let's put that on there as well. So this is what my TBR is looking like right now. So I do have This Delicious Death by Kayla Cottingham down for my Patreon pick. Tracy did put that on for me. I've got Diabound for Kindle Unlimited. I have got The Jasad Air for a debut. I have got Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth for a random number generator. I've got Life in the Pit Lane by Callum Nicholas for a non-fic. I've got Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie for a seasonal read. And I have got Deadline by Steph McGovern for my horror bingo TBR. That horror bingo TBR was never set in stone, by the way. Things have changed on it, so I can change something as random as I want. Albeit I could, by the looks of things now, do like a horror vlog maybe, or a horror bingo TBR vlog. Now see, I'm already turning the vlogs into something else. Right, so a couple of the other books that I did just want to mention very quickly that I will be reading in the month of June for reasons. My Patreon buddy read is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, which is book 1 in the All Souls trilogy. I have not read this series. I got halfway through this book. I've still got a tab where I got up to page 250, not quite halfway of this book, and I am going to start it again because I will be doing a spoiler vlog for them. So this is May and June's pick, so I do need to read this in June. So I will be reading that. I'm not going to read the synopsis to you. And then I'm also going to be reading Sky Daddy by Kate Falk. I'm going to read this on the plane to Egypt. I thought that would be really funny. I did a TikTok and an Instagram reel recently of books that I wanted to buy while I was book shopping with Jade. And this was one of them. And I just don't know if it's going to be for me. It's like really, really weird. This woman is in love with aeroplanes. And it's really bizarre. Linda believes her destiny is to someday marry one of her suitors by dying on a plane crash. It just gets really bizarre, I think. So I feel like this will be a really good one to read on the plane. I think that will be quite interesting. So my plan is to read that. And then I need a translated fiction. So for the month of June for Buzzwordathon, it is memory words. So I'm going for the Delegate Dream department store. Dream is a memory word, I believe, by Maya Lee. So this sounds really, really interesting. I'm very excited to read it. And then I also have returned to the Delegate Dream department store as well. So I'll be reading this one for translated fiction. In a mysterious town that lies hidden in our collective subconscious, there's a quaint little store where all kind of dreams are sold. A captivating story that will leave a lingering magical feeling in readers' minds. This is the first book in a best-selling duology for anyone exhausted from the reality of daily life. Sounds great. So that'll be for my translated fiction. I have one arc on here. And then the other prompt for the cover challenge is Celestial. And for that one, I'm going to do a discovery of witches. This one has like celestial shit on it. There are stars in the background. This has got like a sun. There are stars in the background. This looks like a constellation of sorts. It also has some of the, you know, astrology and shit on it. So listen, I'm doing this one for Celestial, okay? The other arc that I'm probably going to read is The Second Chance Convenience Store by Kim Ho Yeon. This one comes out in June, on the 19th of June. The owner of a corner store takes in a homeless man who does a good deed, a kind soul whose presence will transform the whole neighbourhood. Second Chance Convenience Store is a moving and joyful story of a woman fighting for her community and a man who has lost everything except the will to try again. It sounds adorable. So I will be reading that for my second arc for the month as well. So those are some of the books that I will be reading in the month of June. And I'm very excited. So I have only added on like 4 extra books, but I'm really looking forward to this. This came out really, really well, actually. There is only like 1 that I wasn't anticipating, actually 2 that I wasn't anticipating going on, but the rest were pretty much books that I wanted to read for the month anyway. And outside of this, I will be mood reading. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Chat to me in the comments down below. Let me know what's going on your June TBR. Are there any readathons you're taking part in June? I'm not taking part in any readathons in June. I'm not hosting any readathons in June. It will be nice to just have the month to kind of relax a little bit more, focus on work and just read as and when. I don't think there will specifically be a theme to any of my vlogs. Some of them may end up turning out to be a bit more horror than not, maybe, by the looks of things. There will obviously be an Egypt vlog coming at the beginning of July, in which I read the Egyptian books that I'm taking with me on holiday. But yeah, we will see what happens with that. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. Chat to me in the comments down below. Is there anything you're excited to read specifically for June? Let me know, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.